If you loved Kevin James on Everybody Loves Raymond,
You're choking me!
then you know why we just had to give him his own show.
God, midlife crisis. I don't want one of those.
I do. I can't wait for mine. I'm gonna get a Harley and a girl who's impressed by Harleys.
Kevin James is the King of Queens, coming this fall to CBS Monday.
He's spinning a web, he's spinning it twice. He's gonna find out how to hide. Wow. Spider-Man is on DVD.
Buy it now for the holidays on DVD and video.
Mentalo, should I start working out more?
The voices from beyond the grave say, no.
You've done it again, my turban friend.
My eyes are getting weary. My back is getting tight. I'm sitting here in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge tonight. But I don't care, cause all I wanna do is cash my check and drive right home to you. Cause baby, all my life I will be driving home to you.
Sitcom, all ye faithful, a Christmas podcast special, where for the fourth time I discuss 25 Christmas sitcom episodes. Please come and listen as we count down to Christmas. You should see Punky Brewster, the Partridges and Benson. Michael J. Fox will return, and for one more year the Fonz will definitely have one last episode with the Fonz. My eyes are getting weary, my back is getting tight. I'm sitting here in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge tonight. I can't believe I remembered most of the lyrics of that theme song. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy day 16. Happy December 16th. Happy sitcom, all ye faithful. After today, there's only one Monday left. And if you can tell, I'm actually recording this outside today because I may have mentioned yesterday my wife had a neuroimplant trial put in her back. That was done today, earlier today. She's doing okay, but she is in a lot of pain right now. So she is on the couch because it's a little easier for her to get up and down, which means I can't really be loud. So I'm outside here on the deck, making the best of it, okay? Wife comes first, but if there's time to podcast, damn it, I will podcast. Today, my friends, I am talking about a show from December 16th, 2002. Yes, that's right. I said December 16th, 2002. So this episode aired 22 years ago tonight. It is the season 5, episode 11 episode of King of Queens. And as I said, it aired December 16th, 2002. Let's see what else was airing that night. Monday night, was that like it sounded like a foghorn just went on from the background. Monday night, I don't know what ABC was up to. They're playing reruns of Monk. Monk is a USA show. USA is an NBC Universal show, so I don't know how exactly that worked. Maybe back then it wasn't, or Monk was made by Disney Studios. I don't know. Followed by NFL Monday Showcase and Monday Night Football, which is kind of depressing when I look at this because the Titans beat the Patriots 24-7. This is 2002. But here's the good thing. This was the bad year. The Patriots just won the Super Bowl. Brady just took over, and the Titans beat the crap out of them. We're thinking, Should we have kept Tom Brady? I think it worked out. Over on Fox, there's new episodes of Boston Public and Special. Don't know anything about that. Boston Public, I remember. Special, no idea. On NBC, there was a repeat of Fear Factor with noted kook Joe Rogan, followed by a repeat of Third Watch and a repeat of Crossing Jordan. On UPN, we have all new episodes of The Parkers and One-on-One, followed by Girlfriends and Half and a Half. All new episodes. And on the WB, Seventh Heaven. Oh, remember that? Remember that was such a lovely family, and then I think the dad ended up being kind of a perv, followed by a brand new episode of Everwood. I'm looking for if anyone... Oh, that night on The Tonight Show was Elijah Wood was the big guest star, followed by Julia Scardina and Jamie Nash. But I don't know who any of them are. On Letterman, they had Catherine Zeta-Jones and Coldplay. Big night indeed. But the network that we're talking about this evening, the network we're focusing on, is CBS, the Tiffany Network. Let's go backwards. CSI Miami, brand new episode with David Caruso at 10 p.m. Still standing. Don't know exactly what the hell that is at 9:30 p.m. A repeat of Everybody Loves Raymond at 9 p.m. Yes, dear, brand new episode at 8:30. You know, that's the Michael Malley Show. We've talked about Michael Malley already, I think, this year, even though not on a show. I think it was on a commercial, right? And at 8 o'clock, there was the episode we're talking about tonight, The King of Queens Mentalo Case. It's called Mentalo Case, which is a play on words for mental case. And now I have no notes. I have nothing in front of me. I put my phone away. I'm just going to talk about this episode. It is a Christmas episode, and it is really one of these episodes that is a classic sitcom trope of half listening, half, misunderstanding, making assumptions, and things kind of crisscrossing in a fun way. The big thing at this Christmas is that Carrie is finally getting a great gift for her dad, for Arthur, and it's a cruise. He's getting her a cruise. Now, at the same time, Spence comes over and shows an old toy he had, and Doug's like, "What the hell is that?" He goes, "I spent $80 on this on eBay. This reminds me of the old days." And Doug's like, "The only toy I'd ever care about was Mentalo, or Mentalo. I guess Mentalo was a thing that helped. It was a toy that it basically was like a fortune teller." And Deacon's like, "It's just a knockoff of the Magic 8 Ball." He's like, "No way. Mentalo was the best." He loved that toy as a kid. And he realizes and all of a sudden he kind of wants to get one. So he almost makes a bid on eBay one night. He changed his mind. He wants to get one, but he's spending way too much. Carrie makes him lose the bid, and she's like, "I'm spending way too much on this cruise. You don't need to get Mentalo." He goes, "But wait, Mentalo meant so much to me." And he tells a story about when he was a kid, but the flashback is like this old, in the 50s kind of like flashback where he's like, "Oh, Pa wants to take you down to the creek," when he's playing with Mentalo. But instead of, I know it was some like thing where he wants to play with Mentalo, but instead he goes to fishing at the creek, or he never got it. I forget exactly what it was. And I literally watched it about an hour ago. Real life stuff's getting in the way, and I'm kind of remembering everything I can remember. Carrie's called him out on it. He's like, "The crick? Where was the crick in Queens?" He's like, there were some. He goes, "That's not the point. Maybe I embellished a little. The point is this toy meant a lot to me as a kid, and I want to get one." She's like, "Well, you can't get it on eBay." So he ends up going with Spence to a toy show, and he's like, "Oh my God, Spence, you're like James Dean around here." Now he finds one, or there was someone there who was supposed to have one, and it turns out that the guy who had it sold it to another guy that was wearing the same hat at the IPS where he worked, a tall black guy. They're like, "Oh my God, Deacon obviously bought it. I can't believe it." So while that goes on, he goes over to Deacon's and he's like, "You bought me a gift." He's like, "No, I didn't buy you a gift." He goes, "What are you talking about?" "I know you did." He goes, "I didn't buy you anything." He's like, "Come on, you bought me a Christmas gift. I know about Mentalo." He goes, "What? What are you talking about?" And he goes, I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that at all. Why would I buy that? And then Doug goes in the other room and he finds it. And he goes, ha ha. He goes, okay, fine. I wanted it too. I made a big deal about it because I never got it as a kid. And then he has a flashback to, it looks like he's in the 30s. And he's looking in a toy, in a window at Mentalo. And this rich kid comes out and he's like, Mommy, I don't want a Mentalo. Or Grammy goes, I want a pony. He's like, fine, we'll get a pony. And he throws the Mentalo on the ground and their fancy limo runs it over. And that's his story. And they're like, really? That's what happened? And he's like, it meant a lot to me. He goes, but I guess if it means a lot to you, you can take it. You can take it. And he's assuming Doug would not take it. And the next shot is Doug having Mentalo in his house. And he's all happy and he's talking to it. And that's the clip I played at the beginning. Now, it's definitely a racially insensitive type toy. It's like a Middle Eastern fortune teller wearing a turban, and it's like you pull the string and it answers your question. I say you do it. Now it's not doing an overly racially insensitive voice really, but the look of the toy is just a little questionable. And this is 22 years ago, and it's still a little questionable even for then. So he's playing with the toy, and Carrie's like, "What? What do you have that for?" And no, why did you take that? He goes, because I wanted it. I wanted it more than him. He's like, you got to give it back. He's like, no. He's like, you have to give it back. He's like, why? He goes, because I bought you one. You did? He goes, yeah, I saw how bad it meant to you, so I went and I found one upstate and I went and bought it. He's like, oh my God. So this is I'll take that one. Then I'll give the other one back to Deacon, and I'll look like the hero. This is great. So while all this is going on, at the same time, Carrie tells Holly, who is Arthur's nurse or helper, he tells her all about the cruise, and she thinks, that's great, that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you. She screws up. She goes downstairs to see Arthur, and this is very funny. Now, her name is Carrie Heffernan, his daughter, Doug's wife. CH are the initials. So he's like, look what I got Carrie. I got her these I got her these chopsticks. And she's like, oh my God, they're embroidered. They say, CH, you got these personalized? He goes, no, the China House got them personalized. So he went to this restaurant 2 times a week, he said. And he just collected chopsticks and he's giving them to her. That's her gift. Now, Holly's like, you probably want to get her something better than that. If she just kept her mouth shut, nothing would have been, actually, she ended up okay, but nothing would have happened. So she says something, and then Arthur's like, why? What did she get me? I can't tell you. He goes, if you don't tell me, I'll hurt myself and I'll say you did it. I'll say, they'll believe an old man. So he's like, I will go to town on myself. She's like, fine, he got you a cruise. She got you a cruise. He goes, a cruise? Oh my goodness. I can't give her this. That's too good. Damn it. Okay, we have to find out a better gift. So Holly goes to her and starts fishing for gift ideas. Starts talking to her, and she's like, oh, I guess she tried to tell her that she has a cousin that reminds her just like her, same size even, maybe a little bigger. What would you get if you were you? She's like, this really nice leather jacket. She's like, great, thanks. She leaves. Now Carrie thinks Holly's buying her a leather jacket. So she realizes, oh my goodness, I have to get Holly a better gift. Now, because she's getting Holly a better gift, and she got Doug the Mentalo, she can't quite afford the cruise. So she tries to downsize the cruise, or downgrade the cruise, ends up having to cancel the whole cruise. But she is not worried because she thinks her dad's just getting her some crummy gift, and she's going to get her dad the usual gift, and now she's got to get Holly a nice gift. So all that's going on. Christmas Day comes, and Doug gives Deacon back the nice Mentalo, and he's like, thanks, man. This means a lot. He goes, well, I actually stole it from you. He goes, yeah, but still, it's the thought that counts. So then Carrie goes, here's your Mentalo. He opens it up, and it's a mental man. He goes, this is a mental man. It's the knockoff of Mentalo. And Carrie was like, what's the difference? And he's like, Mentalo has a turban. Mental man has a fez. Like he holds them both up. And, it's this, as I said, it's this kind of I would say, culturally insensitive, both of them pretty much. One wearing a fez, one wearing a turban. So now he wants the one back from Deacon. Deacon's like, no, so they run off and they're fighting over it in the kitchen. Meanwhile, Carrie got the gold earrings for Holly because she thinks Holly got her the leather jacket. So she's like, here you go, Holly, here's your gift. And Holly's like, oh my God, I've never got such a wonderful gift. Oh, I feel, she goes, oh, I didn't get you anything that great. She's like, oh, sure you didn't. And she hands her a gift, and it says, it's like a coffee mug with her name written on it. She's like, oh, that's it. I thought, oh, interesting. Okay. And then, the dad comes over. Arthur says, here's your gift, Carrie. And he's all excited. He goes, oh boy, oh boy. He looks at the box. He's like, okay. And so he opens a box and he goes, it's another hat. It turns out he's had these hats that he pretends to leave on the bus because he's so tired of them. She's like, you got me the leather jacket? He goes, yeah, of course I did. Why did you get me something so good? He goes, where's my cruise? She goes, what are you talking about? How did you know? And he goes, she told me. And Holly's like, he threatened to hurt himself. He goes, I want my cruise. She goes, I couldn't afford it because of all the different gifts I had to get. He goes, fine, I'll get you a cruise for your birthday. He goes, fine. And he takes the leather jacket. She goes, you're taking it back? He goes, you get the jacket back when I ship off. So he takes the jacket from her. Meanwhile, so they're all arguing. Meanwhile, Holly takes her gold earrings and she slunks away. She leaves. We don't see Spence anymore, Patton Oswalt, except at just the beginning of the episode. And that's it. The episode ends with all kinds of fighting. And then there's a weird stinger at the very end. That it's very I don't know if they did this a lot, like these awkward fantasy things, but it showed the White House, and it's in 1973, I think. And you just see a picture of the White House, and you hear a voice like a guy trying to do a Richard Nixon impersonation. And he's like, Mentalo, should I, pardon myself, and basically the whole thing of him, resigning from, instead of getting impeached, he resigns. He's basically consulted Mentalo. He's like, so Mentalo's like, proceed. He's like, call a press conference. And that's how it ended, with this weird little political joke about Richard Nixon, totally out of left field. But I guess that's how big of a deal Mentalo was in the 70s. It was a fun episode, and I forgot to talk about King of Queens in general. It is a spin-off of Everybody Loves Raymond, and my wife and I, we watch Everyone Loves Raymond. Honestly, we were in college, I think, when I first discovered it, and we ended up watching it for years after that. I think we watched it all the way to the end. But again, these were not DVR days, so there were episodes here and there we definitely missed. But then this character comes on, and we find out he's getting his own show, and we started watching that show too. And that reminds me, that was definitely before we were married. So that reminds me of my wife's room in the house she grew up in, and I think watching the show with her parents too sometimes. For some reason, I feel like we did that. I have memories of watching it in our dorm, and I guess, 98, we were just about on the edge of leaving. No, we were there till 99, till the summer of 99. We finished in 99. Wait a minute. No, we graduated in 99. So we were definitely there in 98. I'm confused. Anyway, we enjoyed the show, and, everyone talks about Jerry Stiller being, George Costanza's dad. And that's where he's most famous for. But his role as Arthur, I think, is it Arthur Spooner? Is that correct? His role as Carrie's dad on this show is kind of, it's almost as hilarious, and he's featured a lot more. I mean, he is a major cast member of this show, so I feel like he's in it way more than he was on Seinfeld. And, they kind of took that same type of, his humor, his bizarreness, and they just went with it. It's a different character, but he was still Jerry Stiller. It was still hilarious. And I feel like, I don't want to say the show's underrated, because it's definitely loved, and it was really high in the ratings, and it was very popular. But I feel like it's a little, I'm not sure it gets the respect it's due. And I feel like Kevin James sometimes becomes the punchline of a joke, maybe because of Paul Blart 2, and the Zookeeper. That didn't help. But I feel like, I remember really liking him and really liking the show. And just watching this episode reminded me, yeah, this was a fun show that I really enjoyed. And maybe I'm not giving it the due. Maybe I'm not giving it the due that it deserves. But I think I will do that now. I will give the due. I will do the due. So that's it. I think I'm done. I think I've pretty much said everything I'm going to say. I'm pacing on the back deck. I think I'm going to go back in now, put this all together, get it out to you. The world listeners. I was going to say the American public, but you guys are all over the world, I think. If there's 3 of you and you're all in different countries, then that counts. So listen, I know there's someone in England. I know you're listening right now. I hope you're listening right now. Listen, I'm done here. I am gonna be back tomorrow. Now, I think I might be having a guest tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I need to confirm with him. But I think tomorrow night we're having a guest and we're revisiting a show that we've talked about many, many times. Now, if I'm not doing that, it's going to happen this week, but I think it might be tomorrow night. But until then, you can find me on Instagram, Threads, Mastodon.social, Blue Sky, and Twitter, still Twitter, at Geek Mentality. I think I like to do the most things at Blue Sky and Instagram. Every day, mostly I'm on Blue Sky. The Facebook page is Fans.Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans.Experts. And the website is Fans.Experts.com. Oh, TikTok, Geek Mentality Mike. That too. All right, my friends, I'm done. I will see you tomorrow. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans, not experts.